The sky above Ardent Ridge was burning. Great plumes of red and violet smoke coiled into the stars as the last dragon of the eastern spiral made its stand against a fleet of human skyships. Their metal wings cut through the night, engines howling like caged storms. Plasma rounds stitched the air, carving molten lines across the dragon's scales. It roared not in rage, but in defiance. For centuries, dragons had ruled the skies of this planet, their wisdom shaping civilizations. Now they were being hunted to extinction for their cores, living reactors of bioenergy that powered human colonies. Among the fleet, a young girl named Lyra stood on the command deck of the ship Horizon Dawn. She was not supposed to be there. She was a cadet, barely 16, tagging along to observe. Her father, Admiral Varen Holt, led the fleet himself, his voice cold through the comms. "Target locked. Prepare for the final strike." Lyra's hands trembled as she watched the dragon twist through the flames. It was enormous, its wings tattered but still graceful, its scales gleaming with strange, liquid light. She felt a strange pull in her chest, as if something ancient and sad was reaching out to her. The dragon landed on a ridge of shattered stone, smoke curling from its wounds. And then, something impossible happened. It looked at her. Through the transparent bridge dome, its eyes met hers. Deep gold, full of sorrow and memory. Lyra gasped. A voice, soft as wind over glass, whispered in her mind. "Why do you burn what you do not understand, child of iron?" She stumbled backward, her pulse pounding. "You can talk?" she whispered, though no one else could hear it. The dragon's chest rose heavily. "Not for long. You come to end what you began." But Lyra shook her head. "No," she said under her breath. "I came to learn." Her father's voice broke through again. "Cadet Holt, get away from the viewport!" But she didn't move. Instead, she did something no human had ever done. She opened the comms channel directly to the dragon's coordinates and said, "You're beautiful." The bridge went silent. The officers turned to her, stunned. Out there, the dragon froze mid-breath. The glow of its throat, where a plasma flare was building, flickered out. For a long, trembling second, it simply stared at her through the smoke. "Beautiful?" The thought brushed her mind again, incredulous, disbelieving. Lyra stepped closer to the glass. "They call you monsters," she said softly, "but you're not. You're light, you're art, you're alive." Something changed in the air. The dragon lowered its wings, the wind around it softening. The plasma cannons aboard the fleet held their charge, uncertain. Admiral Holt barked orders, but the gunners hesitated. None of them had ever seen a dragon not fight back. Lyra pressed her palm to the glass. "Let me go to it," she pleaded. "Please, father, just for a moment." "Out of the question," he snapped. But before he could lock her out, Lyra turned and ran. Moments later, a scout pod shot from the Horizon Dawn, spiraling toward the ridge below. The dragon watched the small silver vessel descend and land among the scorched stones. The hatch hissed open, and Lyra stepped into the ash-filled wind. Her boots sank into molten dust. She looked up and saw the dragon up close for the first time. It was dying, one of its wings charred, its breath shallow. Yet even broken, it radiated majesty. "You shouldn't have come," it said in her mind. "Maybe not," she said, walking closer. "But someone has to see you for what you really are." The dragon tilted its head. "And what am I, small one?" "Beautiful," she said again, voice trembling. For the first time in its long life, the dragon laughed. It was a deep, resonant sound like mountains shifting. "In all my years, I have been called many things. Beast, god, terror, never beautiful." Its golden eyes softened. "Perhaps your kind is not all lost." Above them, the fleet repositioned. The admiral's voice echoed through the air. "Stand down, Lyra. We will fire if you do not retreat." Lyra ignored him. "If you fight back, they'll kill you," she said. "But if you trust me, maybe we can end this." The dragon closed its eyes, weary. "And if I trust you and die anyway?" She reached out, touching its scale. The surface was warm, pulsing faintly like a heartbeat. "Then you won't die hated." The dragon regarded her for a long moment. Then with a sound like thunder it rose. Its wings unfurled, scattering ash into the wind. The fleet's targeting system screamed to life, but the dragon didn't attack. Instead, it soared straight upward, past the ships into the high atmosphere. Lyra watched, tears blurring her vision. Her father ordered the fleet to fire, but the systems failed. Every weapon, every reactor went dark. The dragon's biocore resonated through the sky, disarming the ships with a surge of harmonic energy. It was not vengeance, it was farewell. Later, when the reports came in, the official record said the last dragon disintegrated in the upper atmosphere. Its energy dispersed into the ion clouds. But Lyra knew better. She had felt it, something vast and alive entering the currents of the stars themselves. Years later, when humanity's reactors began to fail, strange new signals appeared in the deep space beacons, pulses of golden light, patterned like a heartbeat. The scientists called it the ardent wave. Lyra smiled when she heard the recordings, because she recognized it. It was laughter, warm, distant, and free. And in that laughter, the girl who once called a dragon beautiful knew she had changed its fate. And it had changed hers.